Eric, a few years back, coaches were saying you almost can't set a legal screen anymore because the way screens were called. So I'm just curious now, based on last night's game, without specifics on officiating, can you defend a jump shot anymore in this league?
Well, I mean, it's just a different challenge than it used to be. Not only because of the accuracy, proficiency, the different ways guys now can shoot behind the line. Uh, you didn't have to negotiate as many things, probably 20 years ago. The range that guys can shoot from now really makes it challenging. And then obviously guys are clever and know how to draw fouls. So that's the deal. The game continues to evolve, and you have to find a way to overcome it and do it better. And we're capable of doing that without fouling. We're fouling way too much.
And then just an injury update. Did Andre practice today, and where does that ankle stand looking ahead to tomorrow's game 3?
I don't have a new update on him.
Thank you.
Spo, you've been talking for years about how special Goran Dragic is. And I think now the world is seeing some of the things that maybe you've been talking about for some time. Is there another layer of appreciation that's still there for him in the way that us professional observers and even Heat Nation sees him and his impact on winning?
I think Heat Nation is well aware of Goran and his impact. He's one of, the more experienced, skilled winners in this league. The problem why, he's one of our all-stars, just nobody really noticed because the last, 3 years we've only been able to get into the playoffs once. We were banging on the door so close those other couple of years, but he played really well in that Philly series. If we would have made the playoffs those other 2 years, he would have played well. He's a winner. Everybody in Europe has seen it. He's a champion. We just didn't have enough opportunities for the rest of the NBA fans to see him in a playoff setting.
There is history that is on your side and not with the Bucks. I know history's not playing in the game, but is there something about the type of momentum that occurs when a series is in this space that's real, or is that stuff just for the lovely little research things we get?
We're not going back to Miami, so you won't have that feel to it. We just have to focus on bringing a great competitive game tomorrow. There is no historical reference, to how a 7-game series plays out any differently than it would before. This is a different environment. I don't know if it does have a different impact or not. So we just have to concentrate on continuing to try to do what we do, better and for more extended periods of time.
Hey, Spo, you spoke about it a few days ago, but Jay playing over 30 minutes in the first 2 games and every minute in the fourth quarter in the first 2 games, what makes him such a good fit for this series just on both ends of the court?
That you're basically saying it. He's a competitive guy that fits our culture, our way of being, and he competes on both ends. He's detail-oriented, and he's been kind of a pleasant surprise as a leader in our locker room. And then offensively, we need him to be aggressive, particularly behind the three-point line. I love that he had 12 three-point attempts. Hopefully we can even generate some more for him. He's a great shooter.
And I know controlling the pace is obviously important for any team, but in this series, how important has the offensive execution been in kind of keeping the pace where you guys want it, as far as obviously making a high percentage of shots and limiting turnovers?
Yeah, limiting the mistakes that give them opportunities in the open court, that's critical. They're really fast, and obviously when Giannis or Bledsoe can get downhill, they're putting some pressure on your defense. So your execution and doing it with purpose and not getting knocked off your spots and not losing detail because of their pressure. Those are important. but their defense was better, and we had to, make the right plays, and we'll continue to have to do that.
Hey, Eric, two things. We've seen so many just bonkers finishes in this bubble. Is it kind of a reminder that there isn't really a whole lot that tends to separate some NBA teams from one another? Everybody here has got a lot of good players. There's no bad coach at this level. Is it just a reminder how thin the line is sometimes when you see all the crazy finishes?
Well said. You get this far. I mean, we started out, 22 teams, and now we're down to 8 teams. That's just going to be a super high level of competition. There's going to be experienced, seasoned, proven teams. And so you're going to get these highly competitive games, and there's probably going to be a lot of harrowing late game situations in all of these. There's great players on all these teams. Yeah, well said. There's not much, much difference.
And the other question I had was, you so often speak of the human condition and having to avoid the pratfalls of it more often than not. The fact that you guys are just a few days removed from being up 2-0, how much does that help you not relax in this situation, being up 2-0 again?
Well, we have veteran guys that understand how tough a 7-game series is, and just how our guys' bodies feel today. Has garnered the healthy, deep respect needed for our opponent. We know how dangerous they are. We know how much urgency they're going to come out with, and they definitely brought that urgency last night. And we have to do things at a high level. It starts with respect and also playing for something.
Hi, Eric. Brian Flores was wearing a Heat shirt today and talked about what a big fan he is of yours. Have you had a chance to talk to him at all or meet with him since he became Dolphins coach?
I haven't, but we were planning on getting together a few months ago. I think it must have been right when the shutdown happened. We're going to try to get together for a cup of coffee and just talk some shop. But I actually haven't met him in person. Just a fan of everything I've read about him and what he's all about. He's a Heat type guy. It's hard not to like a guy like that.
Thanks.
I know UD is really excited about the Dolphins right now. So if he's excited, I'm excited.
Hello, Coach. You talk about Goran Dragic, you talk about Jimmy Butler, and I would like to ask you, which is the point that made the Miami Heat so special this season as a team?
That's the operative word. It's a team.
Yes.
Jimmy is obviously a main star for us, but so is Bam, and so is Goran. But our true strength is the fact that we have contributions from everybody, including our young players, and you saw that last night with 7 or 8 guys in double figures.
And about the game 3 and game 4, you expect more difficult games than the game 1 and game 2?
About game 4. But yeah, it's hard to win in the playoffs, so tomorrow will be very challenging.
Spo, even though the Bucks statistically are scoring reasonably well, they're playing more one-on-one, their turnovers are up, their assists are down. It's still early in the series, but are you generally pleased with the look and feel of the game when they have the ball so far?
Again, those transition opportunities, being able to take care of the basketball and execute which gives us better floor balance to be able to get back. I think that's a critical component to what you're talking about. But each game is different. So, Bledsoe, he had some different challenges for us than in game 1. He's a downhill guy, and he can, if you're not right and early to your spots, he can get in the paint, as well as anybody.
All right, Spo. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.